Assalamu alaikum students. In today's lecture we discuss some of the important definitions, and they are also present in scientific information which is mentioned on book page 68. So what are the representative elements? The S and P block elements, they are called as the representative elements. The elements of group 1A and 2A, they are called as the S block elements. Why they are called as S block elements? Because they use their s orbital for the bond formation with other elements. Then the p block elements, the elements of group 3A to 8A are called as the p block elements, and they use p orbital for their bond formation. Then what are the transition elements? So the elements of subgroup B from 1B to 8B, they are called as the transition elements. They have partially filled. Partially filled means incomplete d and f orbitals. They form colored compounds. They show the variable valency, for example, the cupric ion and the cuprous ion in case of the copper. So these questions are also mentioned in the scientific information on book page 68. Here you can see it. Clear? So after the transition elements, these are the few of the characteristics of the transition elements. Now we are moving towards the next one topic, that copper, iron and some of the other elements, they are called as the transition elements. The D block elements, the elements of group 1B to 8B, they are called as the D block elements and are called as the normal transition elements, and these are the copper, gold, silver, which are also called as the coinage metals. Why they are called as the coinage metals? Because in the early ages these metals are used for making the coins, so that's why they are called as the coinage metals. Then F block elements, the two 14-membered series, that is lanthanide and actinide series, are called as the F block elements and also called as the inner transition elements. Lanthanide series, these elements which came after the lanthanum in the 6th period, it contains the 14 elements, ranges from cerium to lutetium, and are also called as the rare earth elements. After that, the actinide series, so these elements which come after the actinium in the 7th period, and they contain the 14 elements ranging from thorium to lawrencium and placed separately at the bottom of the periodic table. After that, we discuss the practice problem 3.1. It is mentioned on book page 69. Example 3.1, book page 71. And here you can see that I also discussed the general sketch of the periodic table. The general sketch of the periodic table, it is mentioned on your book page 70. This is the part of the exercise question, and here you can see that the general sketch, here in this sketch, here you can mention that the S block elements, the members of group 1A, S1A and 2A, they are called as the S block element. The members from group 3A to 8A, these are the P block elements. This central part, that is the transition metals, this is the D block elements, and after the transition metals, the F block elements are the lanthanide and actinide series. So in today's lecture we discussed in detail about all these informations. Then look at your example. It is on your book page 69. So practice problem 3.1. In 3.1 there are 3 questions which are related to period 2 of the periodic table. So the first question is, which is the first element of the second period of the periodic table? So that is the lithium. Which one is the last element of the second period of the periodic table? That is the neon. And how many elements are present in that period? So there are 8 elements in period 2 of the periodic table. For all these information and discussion, you must have a periodic table in front of you, and in which you can easily understand the concept of the S block element, P block element, D block elements, F block elements, lanthanide and actinide series. So in today's class we discussed all the definitions, informations and the main points of the related topics. Thank you.